everyone. I'm Steve. Mark's around. Say hi, Mark.
Hey, everybody!
And this is Smokey Steve and Mark. Either welcome or welcome back. And happy Saturday. It is the weekend, so we know what that means. I am having Pike's Place with some Splenda and some powdered, Coffee Mate hazelnut creamer, which isn't bad. I use a lot less of it than if it was liquid creamer. And, of course, an unfinished basement because it is the weekend. So I hope everybody is well. I hope everybody is safe. Look after yourselves. Look after the people around you in these ongoing, interesting times in which we live. So, let's just look out for each other, okay? Keep it simple. So we are going to pick up where we left off, sort of, with our fair lady Chantal Marie, Foodie, Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, The Daily Chantal, The Chantal Show, Chantopolis, and, what was the one? Foodie, Beauty, and Pete's Happy Hour? Some bullshit. And then she's Foodie Beauty again. So, there was a lot of activity right after we checked in last week. But essentially last week was a lot of lives. It was hours and hours of live streams. The other few things that popped up, intuitive eating is now a thing, apparently. And it's her thing, it's what she's doing. There were some interesting spins on that kind of came this week too. And she made a reference to the Holocaust, which many people found offensive. But she didn't. She only half apologized for, and then later undid that. So that also came up as well. Now, just to preview this review that we're going to be going through, that shouldn't have rhymed. That cadence is so stupid. She's a dirty deleter, Chantal. She'll put something up on her community board, which was very active, or she'll put up a video, usually a live, and then say what she wants to say, run her mouth, complain, and then take it down. That's her prerogative. It's her channel, and if she's already made enough off the super chats and doesn't think it'll get monetized, then she probably takes it down afterwards. I did my best to keep up with all of these. Now, I will call upon the community, that is you, to fill in any gaps below, please, in the comments section so we all know what's going on. There was quite a bit. Now, this is what I can stitch together, okay? First of all, dirty deleting. Let me backtrack on that for a second. I don't care for it myself. I think I've deleted exactly 1 or 2 videos since the channel started. One I made and didn't really like, and I got some nasty feedback on it. It was in poor taste, so I got rid of it. I don't know if I deleted any other ones. YouTube has never told me to delete anything before. But one could argue that when you delete something you put up, whether it's a video or a community post, it demonstrates a lack of integrity. Because you're not standing by your word. You're saying what you want to say and then disappearing stage left. And then when drama erupts around what is said, pull yourself out and say, I'm rising above this. You were a part of this. You can't rise above it. So the first thing we have is a day in my life, what I ate today in grocery haul. It says in the thumbnail, this is boring. She didn't disappoint. She's on her way home, from where she doesn't say, to go use the washroom, the bathroom. Because with COVID, places are closed down. There's a stay-at-home order where she is at the moment. So she said she's out doing errands and shopping. I mean, that's necessary activities. And she can't go bathroom anywhere but home. So she's doing that. She says she hasn't eaten today. She's back home, by the way. Like, this cuts. It's vlog, place. She goes home, she says she hasn't eaten, and she's going to make herself a smoothie before going back out. Good. That's a smart thing to do. That's a very smart thing to do. And then she starts going through the grocery haul, saying most of it's in the car, maybe Pete's will help. So I'm assuming she went to a grocery store, had already pre-ordered, and then pick it up. Like, she didn't go through the store and buy everything, because she got some items that seemed to be a surprise. So I'm guessing that she ordered one thing and got another, and went to get them. And she picked up a few things while they were downstairs. At this point, Mark commented that she looks fatter than ever. She's looked better. I'll say that. She's looked better. She's looked smaller. Now she's only been on this new thing of intuitive eating, is it a week and a half? So if she wants to give it maybe the rest of the month and then hop on a scale, and if she doesn't want to weigh herself, get some blood work done and see how different it looks. See if your blood sugar cares, if you're intuiting cake, whatever. So she buys some healthy food on this, but this happens before, and she mentions it later. She buys a whole bunch of healthy food, it rots, she throws it out and orders fast food. But for the sake of discussion, here's what she bought. Veggie burgers, a huge block of cheese, some ice, chickpea pasta. I've had that. It came in a box we got. It was so gross. So gross.
That stuff was nasty.
It turned into porridge, and I was cooking it like al dente, and then I went to strain it, and it all fell apart. So I'm not mad at her if she threw that out, because I don't like it either. But personal choice, personal preference. Chicken breasts, riced cauliflower. She said she saw Life by Jen using it. Put a pin in that. Lean cuisines, frozen meals, freezer pops, kettle chips, one low sodium, one not, homemade iced tea, which is cool. I used to have an ex who would refuse to go out and buy stuff like that. I was very regimented in what I could spend on our grocery budget and on our food, so I would go to Dollar Tree and get a box of tea bags and then make the iced tea, and that was the tea for the week, unsweetened. Did I want it? No. Did I want to keep that boyfriend? Yes. So I drank piss for about 8 months just to keep the relationship together. She got vinegar, a fermented tea drink for gut health. This is the thing. There's a lot of stuff that is probably not good for her gut health, considering that she had an issue going to the bathroom 10 times a day, and C. diff, and other stuff. It's good that she's doing something for gut health, something good. But this feels like a small something good versus a lot of big stuff that's bad as far as dietary choices. Like, you can't put out a fire with a spray bottle. And that's kind of what it feels like when she'll make some of these like choices for probiotic yogurt or fermented foods that are supposed to be good for digestion. I mean, these aren't bad things to do. These things do have probably some evidence base, whether it's holistic or otherwise, behind them. But there's more serious stuff going on that might need more aggressive measures, I would guess. I don't know. That's an opinion. I am not a doctor. I am some guy on YouTube, just to put myself in my place. Let's see. Going forward, let's see. She's going to try limiting eating out to maybe once a week. Put a pin in that, too. She got 2 kinds of cream cheese, some muffins, there for Pete's. He has a pretty regimented diet. He only likes to eat certain things at certain times. Mark?
Yeah.
Do you have a regimented diet?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, he says.
Yeah, I do.
Just a little bit.
I do.
He does. Mostly lean cuisines. You should see the freezer. It's a shame. Coconut water, candy, high-fiber candies that are keto-friendly, lemons, chocolate-covered raisins, carbonated water, organic granola, brown rice, and ancient grain chocolate chip cookies, gag me, and a cucumber. She's making dinner around 9 o'clock because she took a long nap because it was a long day. This was a vlog, being kind of boring because, again, there is a stay-at-home order. She will do some mukbangs, she says. Her view is changing about fat people should not eat on camera. There's nothing wrong with her doing it, according to her, as long as, because other people are doing it too. Milk Tea Reacts put this very clearly in a thumbnail. Context. Context. Okay. And I have to ask, I think she had said this in passing, but does the therapist know that she eats for a living? I mean, really, that it's profits off of it. You know, absolutely profits off of it.
That therapist doesn't know. Oh my goodness.
I'm inclined to think she would lie, and I think I would understand why, because the therapist would tell her to stop.
So
I had a shrink who I would go to when I was crazy as hell. This was like when I was, I don't know, 22, 23. So I was right in the prime of fucking up my life. And I was drinking like a fish. I was total full-blown alcoholic. I had no idea at the time. I was total denial. And I would tell him about everything but my drinking, because I knew if I mentioned it, he would tell me to stop. Even though all the symptoms I was having were side effects of alcohol abuse and alcohol withdrawal. And he just kept pumping me with psych meds, because I lied about not drinking. When I left out a huge part of the problem, it didn't matter that I was seeing a professional, because I wasn't giving them all the information. So of course treatment wasn't going to work, because I wasn't giving a full disclosure of what was going on. I'm not saying that's happening with her, but if that's happening with her, it could disrupt recovery. Just saying. Just saying. So yeah, it's weird. It's like, it's not that she draws everything back to her being fat. It's not that she's overweight or obese, whatever you want to call it, fat, pleasantly plump, person of size, plus size and proud, BBW, whatever helps you sleep at night. She acts like it's a mystery as to why, and acts like the solution is, the solution, if you're too fat from eating too much, you will get thinner by eating less, however you go about it. If intuitive eating works, good. If Jenny Craig works, good. If you go keto, good. If you go vegan, good. If you get a gastric sleeve, good. Any of them will work if committed to, if stuck to, if practiced in the spirit in which they were designed. But I can't do a few for each day here, there. I went keto for 2 weeks and I felt the discipline of keto kicking in. But if I did it for 2 days and just gorged on steaks with blue cheese and butter, and then went back to eating pizza the third day, that keto diet didn't do me a damn bit of good. All I did was gorge on fat for 2 days and then go back to carbs. So, let's see. So then intuitive eating again. She didn't want noodles, but she had tater tots in the oven. Now, there was a live, either right before this or right after, again, not 100%, but it did happen, where Pete's was there with Chantal, and they were talking and hanging out in bed and blah, blah, blah. They did this later in the week. And Ms. Huzzy, who I don't know if anyone knows, I hope you guys know, I adore Ms. Huzzy. She always looks radiant. It's more of a comedy channel, kind of satire, playing fun. Her original channel, Miss Glory Gloria, was was taken down, and this came up in its place. Very funny. Was also, according to Ms. Huzzy, not threatened, but wished harm by Pete's. Something along the lines of, go ahead and die already. Chantal makes accusations that Ms. Huzzy is old all the time, that she's an old man, old woman. I don't know Ms. Huzzy's pronouns. Mine are he, him, and his. I would ask her what theirs are. I'll go with the neutral they. I just had a training on this week. I'll go with the neutral they until Ms. Huzzy corrects me otherwise. But anyway, there was some falling out there, and Ms. Huzzy made videos about it, and, Chantal couldn't care less. She's got a hard-on for her, and Ms. Huzzy is friends with Charlie Gold, which doesn't make things look great either. So, next was a 4-hour live. Hi, guys. 4 hours. This was 4 hours of complaining, mostly, about how it's everyone else's fault that she's overweight, and when she's not complaining, she's giving advice. Excuse me, I'm allergic to bullshit. Now we got off on dating. Mark and I are talking, because we have 4 hours to kill. And, dating the kind of person, and again, flashing back to some other reactors about, is she seeing anybody? Is she not seeing anybody? What's going on? Would she be interested in a 400-pound man who ate for a living? Probably not. No. I would ask her why. Like, what would she, what would her questions to him be? She said she doesn't want someone who's in shape because they have nothing in common. So what's left? Big guys. Big girls. Whatever she's into. That's her, that's her journey. But if not, I don't know. So, and then we flash again. She has new mods, and she gives them directions while she's in live. Just delete. My thing with lives. Zoom, 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 stop. Just to get bits and pieces. She's already thinking about supper. She loves strawberry cream cheese. It's amazing. She's laying down in the next cut with her fan on. And Mark remarked, so lazy. Chantal mentioned she hates babysitting. Kel's surprise. I don't like babysitting either. Well, I'm not good at it, I should say. Actually, to be frank, no one's ever trusted me with their child. It hasn't come up yet. It hadn't come up. I wonder why. I'm an uncle to 5. But at any rate. So, as she's laying down, she talks about, she loves pogos. They're like corn dogs, I guess. And then, zoom, zoom. I don't get the obsession with me. I'm pretty sure I'm going to listen to my therapist and not some internet person looking to start stuff. So she's talking again about her treatment, about her food, and how she's going to listen to her therapist. Is she? We'll see. That remains to be seen. My gut says no, she's not, but we'll see. Then she's in the kitchen, and she left the live stream to go pick up some food that was being delivered and use the bathroom. And she had ordered something Parmesan, bruschetta, and then apple pie cheesecake. She's doing intuitive eating, again. So she says eating less food should automatically be good for her other health concerns, like the severe fatty liver, and, maybe her blood sugar. But to kind of put it in, I guess, like, I don't think my body would care. Like, if I was a diabetic, let's say, I don't think my body would care if I intuitively wanted cheesecake. Like, I can't have everything I want because it's not good for me. And I've been heavier. My highest weight was like 290. I've put on COVID weight, which is slowly coming off, and I gained about 15 during COVID. So right now I'm like 195, 200, somewhere in that range. And I couldn't have everything I craved. I couldn't have everything I wanted because doing that got me fat. Eating what I wanted in whatever portions I wanted did that. And intuitive eating probably wouldn't have worked for me because I would have a very hard time. I would have a very hard time drawing lines between impulse, craving, intuition, when am I full, when am I not, is my body craving it, is my mind craving it. I wouldn't be able to pull it apart, and I would just eat everything in sight and tell myself I'm doing good. It wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good. See if my blood sugar cares if I'm having intuition, see if my waist cares if I intuited that I need this X, Y, or Z. Next, food truck fast food mukbang. Now, the first thing I wanted to say was, you moron. I was all happy you bought all this health food. My stupid fault for being optimistic, but I'm optimistic every time she says she's starting over, because we all need cheerleaders. But if you're going to fake and feign effort to win support, to tell people to shut up, to appease family members, to get everyone to leave you alone, and then turn around 3 days later and do that, I know you're only going to eat till you're full. But you're going to eat the rest of it later eventually. Like, to order half as much instead. Oh, I'll keep it for later. I'll just keep it for later. So this was a Q&A. And she answered these questions over corn dogs, sweet potato fries, and jalapeno poppers with various dips. I like various dips too, like a lot of them. Question, why not swim as exercise? With COVID, all the gyms are closed. Those gyms were not closed for the 20 previous years before COVID. Are you dating or talking to anyone? She says no. She's focusing on herself. Again, the pink skater dress, the first date dress. Put on some boots, maybe a wig, your call. It looked good. What do you do to heal a bruised ego? People are cruel and I want to start a channel. I'm sure it was random, right? People will answer. People will try to crush your soul. She gets angry at bullies, but their insults are projections on themselves. People always say that when you insult them. First of all, she takes everything as an insult. Second, she does get insulted. Let me not wash over this. Chantal gets offended by dumb shit, but there's plenty of legitimate, hate that I've seen that gets directed at her. So she's not overreacting to some stuff. The problem is she has the same overreaction to all stuff, it seems. So, let's see. Career goals other than YouTube. She sees this as her career and she wants to progress. Maybe some travel vlogs. Something like that. Again, when COVID's over. Where does she see herself in 5 years? Mark, what did you say?
I can't say it because I feel bad.
He can't say it.
I can. Well,
fill in the blanks for yourself as a viewer. She wouldn't be doing mukbangs anymore.
No.
Pete's I don't know.
She would either be dead or she would be in a nursing home somewhere because she would be too in bad health that she can't even stand.
Yeah.
That's if she continues what she's doing.
She wants, and I hope for her, that she's living a good life. Sicker people have turned it all around. She could do it. When did you realize you had binge eating disorder? And she answers this with a mouthful of fries. Maybe in the last few years she was in denial, no big realization. I got her there. When I kind of came to me that I was like a drunk, alcoholic, substance use disorder, whatever, it was no big flash, especially getting into recovery. There was no big burning bush moment. There was no sky opened up and I was struck by lightning. It was very nonchalant that I started realizing it, and then even more nonchalant that I started doing the things to get better. There was no big, here's my day one of my new life video. Because, what if it wasn't? Let me just do my thing in privacy, and then if it goes well, maybe I'll let some people in on how it's been and report some happy changes, and then it'd be nice to have some encouragement. But I don't expect everyone on day one to, believe me, especially if I have a 3-year documentation of failures. 4, Taco Bell mukbang. I'm stressed out. Taco Bell. If you don't like messy eating, so that's the preamble to a mukbang. She said she's craving it so bad. We can't have everything we crave. It doesn't work like that. That's not intuitive eating. I'm positive that's not intuitive eating. Eating everything we crave. It was like a bag of tacos, a burrito, some stuff like that. It looked good. I like Taco Bell too, but I don't, she's hangry. Please don't judge me. She has some stuff going on that's pretty personal. That's her. Oh, she said her grandmother's doing well. That's a good thing. She's tight with her grandmother, and she said she's getting out of the hospital. So, good thing to report for Chantal's life. She got her Hello Fresh box, which she'll be having later, and then she chats about it for a while and kind of plugs it here and there. We have another one, Every Plate, which I think might collaborate or be owned by Hello Fresh. It's a box we use. It's like half the price. But it's fun, and they're cool, because Mark and I don't go out much, and he's a chef, so he cooks. They're interesting. It's not food for 2 people. It should be. She said she likes doing these videos. The eating and the talking. It takes her mind off serious things. I imagine the eating more than the talking would maybe take her mind off things. It's when we have compulsions, addictions, substances we abuse. First substance I ever abused was food. I couldn't reach the liquor cabinet when I was 8, but I could reach the fridge. It's a really quick way to put our heads in the sand and like, I don't have to deal with this. I don't have to deal with my problems. I don't have to deal with stress. I don't have to deal with anything. All I have to think about is, what am I eating? What's the next bite? What's coming up next? And then when I'm done with this, what's my next meal going to be? So all I'm thinking about is food. I don't have to think about anything else. You can binge like that until you hit a wall, and then the guilt kicks in. For a lot of folks, the guilt kicks in. Maybe not everybody. But. And then she tells some telemarketing stories from when she was a telemarketer. And she says, have any of you ever bought things to eat or make that are healthy, but that you don't like? Because she just cleaned out the fridge. She did this 2 days ago when she went to buy all that health food. She bought it all in a fit of whatever, and then now she's throwing it out because she's not going to eat it. And she says she knows she can't live alone by Taco Bell, but she bought a bunch of stuff she didn't like. Healthy, like, stuff, it's not supposed to be a punishment. Just, there's a lot of food in the world. A lot of food. There's a lot of food that's healthy if, we prepare it differently or try it differently or eat less of it, stuff like that. So there is healthy food out there to be had. That actually does taste good, but you might not be able to go through the drive-thru and get it. You're going to have to make it, or you're going to have to get it from somewhere else. And, health is supposed to be like a gift. Health isn't a punishment. The food isn't a punishment. It's something that you do for yourself. It's something I do for myself to try to stay well, but it's work. Again, it's not just blowing smoke about efforts you're making. It's the actual effort. So then there was a live stream being silly with Pete's, not for kids. So she's in bed stoned, pretty much, for hours. There was a pure zoom, because I'm going through the live stream. No one's on camera. Then she shaves her chin. Then she's talking about diets, cabbage soup. She's not getting a treadmill anytime soon. 1 hour in, she is completely blitzed. And you have to cough to get off. She's vaping marijuana at the moment. Legal in Canada. Her call. Substance, of all the things. Pete thinks the universe is going to end, I guess soon, maybe. Zoom. Chantal gets a nosebleed on camera. Okay, this is not the first time. Assuming she's actually getting them, because I've never seen blood. And actually, if she is getting nosebleeds, that's courteous to her viewers to not show blood. She's on blood thinners, last she reported about her health. If I was getting nosebleeds with blood thinners, I hope that she's reporting it to her doctor. If it was me, I'd be very concerned, because I'd be concerned, like, what if I got a nosebleed in the middle of the night and I didn't wake up, and I couldn't stop it because I'm on blood thinners. I guess she'd bleed into the CPAP and it might wake her up. I don't know. At any rate, blood coming out of my face is concerning. I'm sure she's addressed it with somebody. Chantal is kind of a hypochondriac, so I imagine she's emailed her doctor. Hypochondriac / sort of likes getting attention for having medical problems. I hate to say it, but that's true. So, at any rate. Let's see. Universe. Chantal has a nosebleed. They talk about customer service jobs, Disney movies, finding one of her dad's friend's porn stashes, how Pete has all kinds of women in his inbox. Some chit chat. Farting came up at least 4 times, and then Chantal talks about being on shrooms. Chantal on shrooms. I would give my left arm to see Chantal on shrooms, honestly. Next, lasagna and garlic bread mukbang, because she was craving lasagna. Of course you're allowed. Mind you, when I'm talking about Chantal eating on camera, or talking about whether or not it's right or wrong, I'm not talking about copyright. I'm not talking about terms of service, whether she's hurting herself or not. I have opinions about all of that. I'm not talking about whether mukbang should be, like I said, monetized or not, or whether or not it should be up on YouTube. I'm talking about, is it good for a person, for a human being, who's struggling with health issues related to weight, to work in the food industry, and their primary job is to eat? Is that healthy for the individual? Now, it's none of my business, and she's made it clear that she doesn't care for unsolicited concern either. But nevertheless, I have concern. I don't know. So she craves it, she gets it. She gets it from Canada's answer to Olive Garden, and it's salad, lasagna, and a loaf of bread. She says, in defense, so defensive, she's like, someone's gonna say you have HelloFresh, or, well, she does. She's like, why can't I have takeout for one meal and HelloFresh for another? You can't. But looking at HelloFresh, because we get a similar box, and then takeout meals, that's like the kind of meal I would eat, like that for lunch, something for dinner, and then maybe skip breakfast, have coffee, if I was trying to maintain my weight. And I'm a 6 foot tall man. Chantal is 10 inches shorter than me. So I don't know that she needs as much calorie intake. But at any rate, she starts telling stories about Katimavik, where she traveled Canada as part of a government program when she was a teenager, and volunteered and did service and painted her own rainbows and stuff like that. And she said it was some of the best years of her lives. So, it was very minimalist when they were traveling. They had to bake their own bread, make their own beds. I liked doing that stuff. I did Habitat for Humanity when I was 17, I think, in North Philadelphia. And then I did another service trip to St. Lucia a year later. I went with a bunch of nuns and a priest, and we painted up some old church that was fallen down. And we would go to the beach after work every day, after volunteering every day. It was a whole lot of fun. So service trips are fun, usually. But they are pretty bare bones, for the most part. She said she took an aptitude test, and they ended up placing her at a women's shelter to do some volunteer work, and she discussed the activities she did with the women, pretty much. Now, she tells a story about being shotgunned in a van, and this story kind of encapsulates, this story tells you a lot about Chantal in a very short amount of time. So there's a van that they all take to go place to place, one of those big-ass cargo vans, probably, and she always called shotgun, and always got shotgun. One day, someone else needed shotgun, well, asked for it, and she lost her shit, apparently. According to her, lost her shit. And her excuse was, I'm claustrophobic. I can't sit in the back with those people. And that girl eats garlic hummus all the time. And she said everybody noticed the smell. Why are we special? Why is my intolerance for garlic breath so much more than everybody else's that I get to be separated? Claustrophobic? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. So then it kind of came full circle. Chantal did have to sit in the back for whatever reason, and they got back to the place where they were staying, and the door wouldn't open all the way. It was a close call between the van that she was getting out of with all the other teenagers and the building she was going to be going into. And everybody got out and went in, and Chantal got stuck, and she got one leg out and one leg in, and she's hyperventilating and screaming, and no one's coming. And the single cabbie in the town that she lives in, who looked like Otto from The Simpsons apparently, came to her rescue, and she wiggled her way out. You want to bet that she never had to sit in the back again, that she rode shotgun after that because of that incident? So that whole thing talks, it's like entitlement, excuse making, and then throwing a fit so it never comes up again. That tells you a lot right there about going about getting this is how one goes about getting their needs met. They demand it, and then when they can't demand it, they cry for it. And then when they cry for it, they get it. You're going to get it in that one way or another. So, that is the end of the videos at the moment. Now, it's been half an hour. I gotta have a cigarette. So, I know, smoking kills smoking. It says so on the package. At least I'm not pretending it doesn't. So, there was... Where's the community post for this? Because I had a couple. There's some that aren't as relevant because they're very long and they're kind of from the end part of the week. She had said when she puts a video out of her eating anything, she's going to block and delete all the comments related to what she should or shouldn't be eating. So she's going to put up a food-related video and delete any comments about food. So, and she doesn't care if your ableist ass thinks she shouldn't be using a chair in the kitchen. There's another ist. There's so many ists. I don't want your unsolicited advice on my channel. Well, I won't put it there, but I can put it on my channel, I suppose. I don't want your... Let's see. I'm trying to repair the messed up mentality of you shouldn't. In my previous mukbang, I didn't overeat. I still have leftovers from that meal because I'm fat, eating anything gets me criticized. Okay, honey. She's as happy as if she were right. That's my great-grandmother used to say. Done explaining my meal choices to you, the collective you, the faceless yous. You don't have a right to tell fat people what they can and cannot eat for fut's sake. Being fat does not mean we have to eat low-carb, low-fat. Well, it's obvious that if you're fat, you're not eating low-carb, low-fat. I mean, I can take a wild freaking guess the reason somebody is fat, usually. They may have other underlying health conditions that go with it. That's not uncommon. Something like maybe PCOS, or other health conditions that can make it, or take certain medications that make it extremely difficult to manage one's weight. I can appreciate that. What got me to this weight and disordered way of thinking is years of diet culture, binge eating on thousands of calories and junk food, not eating half of a falafel and a few potatoes and grape leaves. If you don't like potatoes and if you don't like watching me, then I have the perfect solution. Don't. And yes, I'm aware that this is the internet and people will judge. Well, this post is to tell those people they can judge elsewhere because their comments won't see the light of day. I'm working with professionals, and as I've said, this will take a long time.
She told us.
Well, so, hey, next one. Hey, guys, I'm bringing back Dinner and a Mystery here, and they're talking about mysteries and true crime. Before anyone says it's insensitive to do so, you always gotta have a little something. Please have a gander at Stephanie Sue's channel. I will do it as respectfully as I can. New video out today, thanks, guys. If you want to do it as respectfully as Stephanie Sue, don't fart or burp. Because guess what? You can be a very successful mukbanger and not do those two things. She is. I don't mind her stories usually I don't like the TMI stories. The Katima story was fine. I thought that was cool. Some of the stuff about her past is okay. But, I don't know. Like, she does it too. It's always about, what about? So... I mean, I don't care. I don't think our mystery stories are bad. That Heaven's Gate one, that she did the one Halloween about the suicide cult, that might have tripped some triggers. I'm not one for trigger warnings, but probably some folks could have used it. You know, I don't use them on this channel and generally, so. And then another food-related community post. Just a reminder that I'm no longer here to justify my dietary choices to you. I don't mean that in a mean way. I don't think my meal is unreasonable. I did not binge. I ate till I had my fill and left the rest. As we speak, I'm making a healthy dinner of lean turkey meatballs and green beans. Sometimes I eat junk, and sometimes I eat healthy. I'm still learning intuitive eating. Uh-huh. Okay, so that was that. Now, just in the last, I guess, couple days, there was a reactor, and I'm just coming in on this, so this is where we fill each other in, but I'm going to report what my recon found, because there was things missing. There was a reactor called Robin the Explorer, and Robin, from what I could gather, was a funny, relatively even-handed, and almost courteous reactor. Now, these comments about Robin I found in comment sections around some of the other videos people had put up, because his channel was struck down. His channel. Robin's channel. See these pronouns? I'm getting myself all fucked up now. Robin's channel was struck down. And there's a few ways the channel gets struck. Copyright guidelines or community guidelines strike. So there's a few people he reacted to. Chantal, Amy's Life Journey, and Life by Jen. So Robin puts up on Twitter, what was the quote? Well, fuck, Life by Jen has nuked my account. So why would he assume it was Life by Jen. Well, if it was a copyright thing, you know who, only the owner of the copyright can copyright strike, so you would find out who it was, who did it. A community guidelines strike, which could be something like, I don't know, bullying or threats or anything like that. I don't think you get to know who did it exactly. So when I was going through some of the comment sections, Chantal's name came up, interestingly enough. And Chantal put a post up because that drama has to be about her too. Anytime there's drama, it has to be about her too. Okay, people, stop messaging me and asking if I had anything to do with the takedown of another parasitic reaction channel. I did not, but boo-hoo, I don't give a fuck. Am I supposed to cry over the deletion of a channel that does nothing but fat shame and insult me every day?
Oh my goodness.
Channel's bad her. Fuck 'em, and quite frankly, good riddance. I heard YouTube is cracking down on these types of channels. But sorry, what dimension are you from where you think you are better than the people who are talking shit about, So, oh, and there's a karaoke party, I think, tonight at 10. Maybe I'll see you there. So, okay, so what have we brought here? Oh, and by the way, Chantal and Life by Jen. Chantal at least watches Life by Jen, because in the middle of her grocery haul, she said she picked up a couple things that Life by Jen had gotten and recommended in one of hers. So Chantal at least watches her videos. There was discussion with Chantal in cahoots with Life by Jen about this. I don't know. I hope this person's channel does come back if it was for an illegitimate reason that their channel was taken down. Especially if their channel was a little more even-handed, because I've seen reaction channels and reviews that are a little more just like report the news with a little editorial. I've seen some that are vicious, and they have been taken down. I've seen other ones before. So, we shall see. We shall see. A lot going on this week. A lot went on. So what is the lesson here? Well, I'm an idiot. Because I was stupid enough to give Chantal the benefit of the doubt again. I was not dumb enough to think intuitive eating would work, and of course it isn't. The line between craving, impulse, intuition, it's too blurry for her. It doesn't work. I don't think it's going to work. I don't know that she's accessing the professional help that she says she is. She might have gone a few times. I don't know. That's her private stuff. You know damn well if she went, she would show us all the handouts and notebooks and everything they gave her, though, as receipts. So. And
let's not forget, she claims that her therapist has a degree.
Yeah, her therapist has a degree in intuitive eating. I don't know where you get one of those.
Let's Google.
It's like the University of Guam or something. Like one of those like faraway schools, like university. I don't know. But at any rate, she's in the care of professionals and doesn't care to hear from people who've been there and done it. She wants to hear from somebody else. So I think, personally, with any person who's going through a hard time, it's good to have access to professionals and peers. People who've been through it before. People who can smell your bullshit, but can also point out, hey, you're doing good here. I know this part's hard. Hang in there. It'll be all right. Fucked up again? Pick yourself up. You don't have to go back to square one if you did good for 30 days. You just pick up at day 30 and you keep going. It's fine. Somewhere between being a dick to somebody and enabling them, there is a kind of compassionate approach that can be done, where you don't have to coddle somebody. But you don't have to, tell them they're a piece of shit either. That's the kind of approach that helped with me. I don't know. Maybe there's someone in her life that can try it with her. We'll see. So that's all I got, folks. I'm here for it again next week. Thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe. Hit the like button and the bell on your way out so you get all the alerts when we have a new video and also when we go live. You can follow us on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc, or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc, or on Twitter. Our handle's at SmokeySteveA. Our email address and contact information is also all listed down below as well. Thank you again, and we will catch up with you tomorrow night live. We are going live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lives are usually pretty chill. Open discussion. There's no topic. Usually the same few come up. Moderators are pretty good. Cool side of the pillow, so don't hesitate to drop by and say hi. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.